Hello, BitMonger Asia here, JMonger. Hope you guys are all doing well today. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at another tuber. His name is AceBachelorCool. Gotta love that name. This guy is a character. He lives in Angeles City, and he gives some tips on newbie tips basically on how not to make mistakes. So we're going to be taking a quick look at that, and I'll be giving my thoughts on the advice he gives and chiming in. Now this guy, a little background on him. He's an American guy. I notice a lot of American guys like to go to the Philippines. Primarily, I think it's because it has to do with our military background there, and the fact that a lot of these guys are just lazy to learn a second language, so they seem to gravitate towards the Philippines, and the fact that the Filipinos generally like Americans and hold us in pretty high esteem due to our economic might in our military. But that's okay. I mean, I get it, but that's not enough reason for me to move there. Angeles City, man. I feel like Angeles City's the dirty stepchild of Pattaya. I mean, the place is a shithole. I would not move there. And let's first take a look at what AceBachelorCool has to say about some tips. And I'll look at a couple of them first here. We'll zoom in on here on what he's got going. So let's take a look. Let's see if we can zoom in. So the first thing he talks about is he talks about how they're friendly. That's fine. Friending Filipinas on WhatsApp, I guess, is what he talks about. Facebook. Yeah, I would agree. You shouldn't do that. If you got nothing to hide, that's fine. I mean, in some ways I would kind of disagree with this, because let's face it. If the bitch is going to fucking be all insecure and snooping on you and she can't handle it, well, then you don't want to be with her anyways. And you can always block them, right? So I don't necessarily agree with that. Then he says buying lady drinks. This one, I mean, if you're a cheap ass, okay, don't buy them drinks. But, buying them one or two drinks is not a big deal. I mean, if you're going there to party and you're going for hoes, buy lady drinks, okay? Just make sure you know the price before you buy them, and don't buy too many. If you like the gal, fucking buy her a drink or two, and then get the hell out of there. No, once you got what you want, fucking move on. The next thing he talks about here is, he says, trike drivers are your friends. And I would say that is, okay, I mean, to a certain level, but like anybody else, you don't trust nobody until you really get to know them. So that's all I would say on that. Then he talks about no condom, and again, I would agree with that one too, especially if you're dealing with I would say with any of these bitches, they're getting around. If they're chatting with you, if they're hooking up with you and you're an older guy and she's younger, well, you should assume that she's doing the same thing with a bunch of the other guys, and you should assume that these other guys are, banging other ladies as well. So, wrap it up. Good idea to wear a condom until you really get to know her. Okay. And he talks about in here about something that I mentioned before in a video, is how these women like to have you bust a nut inside, because they're going to use it to extort you. They're going to contact you later, tell you that they're pregnant, and ask for money to get medical assistance or whatever it might be that's in their mind, but they will try to come after you. So let's go ahead and look at what else does he got in here. Nice guys finish last. And I would say, it's not that nice guys finish last. It's just that fools finish last. I mean, you can still be a nice guy. You still want to treat these ladies well. I think that's important. No matter who they are, you always want to treat people well, but you just don't want to be a chump sucker, okay? Simple as that. Let's go ahead and watch the rest of what he's got to say. We're starting off on this next part. Let's listen.
6, walking alone, especially at night. Foreigners stand out. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, brown, yellow, red, orange, purple. The locals are going to know that you are not Filipino. You are a foreigner, Westerner. You are a tourist. Have a wingman. Have a buddy. Have somebody to show you around. You guys have each other's back. But you do not want to be off the beaten path 1 or 2 blocks off the public eye, CCTV, what have you, when the sun goes down. Number 7, check your...
All right. Well, honestly, guys, I've lived in Southeast Asia for over 30 years, and the advice he's giving here is good. But that's in particular to the Philippines, guys. The Philippines, the crime rate is very high. Now, take it this way. I've lived all over Bangkok, never had a fucking problem. Not once. I can walk all over. For a period of time in my life, I used to live near the largest slum. I could walk by that any time of night. Not a problem. There's a huge difference here. So my question is why the fuck would you want to go to a place where you have to, well, you can't walk off the main street and you got to worry about getting jacked? You know, what the fuck? Why would you want to go there? What's the point? What's the point, guys? It's like, what, you know, really? It's like, for one, the place is filled with garbage, and now you got to worry about your safety walking around. And honestly, I wouldn't move to Angeles City. This place is a magnet for fucking scumbags, okay? Hate to say that, but, you know, someone needs to speak the truth. He's not mentioning that. But generally speaking, he is right. You know, in the Philippines, you go off the beaten track. You go out of the little bubble area where you're safe, well, you're in danger. Let's look at the next one that he talks about here. Protect your wallet, you know, that type of stuff, you know. Yeah, well, I would say that's generally the case anywhere. You know, you want to be street smart. And if you're not street smart, you don't got your wits about you, well, guess what? You're probably going to get, you know, you're probably going to get scammed. But again, I think this is way more Philippine problem rather than any problem that I've had in Thailand, Myanmar, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, and certainly not in Singapore, guys. This is a Philippine problem more than any place else. And I would also say, you know, Pattaya could fit into this kind of zone as well. But that's primarily just because Pattaya too is a magnet for scumbags. Okay? That's why I said Angela City's like Pattaya's little stepsister. But worse. The next thing he talks about is don't invest into businesses, adventures, or this type of stuff. I would say invest into adventures. If you want to go on an adventure, go for it. You know, do some cool stuff. Just don't go to the very southern tip of the Philippines. That's just stupid. Then he talks about you're not special in the Philippines. They all see us the same. And I would agree with that. However, you know, the more money you got, well, the more special you are. And that's the case in anywhere in Southeast Asia. You got the bank, well, guess what? You got power. At least you do in terms of being able to bribe people, because let's face it, they're corrupt as fuck. And you can buy yourself out of situations in which other people may not. And that's just a fact, guys. So, this guy does drop some good information. Funny guy. I like his whiteboard situation there. It looks like you're in a classroom type of situation, and he's just busting out being the teacher type. But yeah, that's what else what he talks about here. He gives some extra tips here. He says you don't need dating apps. I would, you know, on a certain level, I would say, yeah, you don't need dating apps. You can just go out and meet women all over the place. But dating apps is something to look through, because I've met some amazing hotties through dating apps. So I wouldn't necessarily agree with that completely, but I do agree with the sense that, hey man, you see an attractive woman that you like out when you're going out, go up and try to talk to her. They're surprisingly open and friendly, and she'll let you know if she's not interested in you. The last one, everybody pays. And I thought this one was kind of funny because he says, everybody pays, whether it be a load for their phone, and then he said on the high end would be a motorbike. Dude, the high end is they're asking you to buy them land and build a house, or the guys buy them a condo or build a home for them. That's the fucking big lotto ticket, dude. Not a motorbike. So I thought that one was kind of funny. And you see a ton of these other guys there in the Philippines that are, marrying these women that are much younger, and then buying land, building homes. And all I can say to those guys is, fucking God help you, man. Generally speaking, that is not a wise plan. All right. Let's go ahead and look at what was the last thing that he said here. Be confident, yeah, secure. Okay, yeah. I mean, all women like a confident guy. You don't want to be overly cocky, though, but you definitely want to be confident. Being confident's important, no matter where you are, no matter what country you're in. Women don't like insecure guys that don't have confidence in themselves. Let's face it, because if you're timid and they see that as weakness, women don't like that, man. So always, when you approach a woman, be respectful and confident, and that's how you're going to get them. All right, there, guys. That's my breakdown on this guy. I would say, generally speaking, he's got some very good points, so I like what he says. But those are the things that I would say, maybe you may not want to listen to him. If you really want the Filipino women, if that's your pleasure, if that's what makes you really happy, you know what I do? Costs a bit more money, but this is the way, guys. You go over there, get to know them for a day or two, and then you fly them the fuck out of the country and you take them to some nice place like Thailand or Bali or Vietnam, where they're out of their element. You got their attention, and they're on holiday. They love it. It works really well. And then you can work things out from there. But get to know these gals before you do anything serious. I see a lot of guys that are absolute suckers, and they end up marrying these women quickly and then regretting it. So be smart. Bring your common sense with you, and you'll probably be fine. All right, that's it. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Hope you're all doing well, and monger on.